All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start off by giving all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekakodash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. And salutations to the hopeful elect brothers out there pushing this truth with all diligence and sincerity. All right, this is the brother Lahab with the Chicago Great Millstone branch. Just doing a quick report on Six Flags America is closing for good. Yeah, Great America is closing for good, man. All right. You know, which it's going to be a time like no other. You know, we've been in a retail apocalypse, and most of these companies have been doing mergers just to stay afloat with other companies, or they're being renamed, but altogether, you know, they themselves cannot continue in their names and property, man. All right, because the Lord is setting up shop with the decline of the economy, man, to bring in this the digital awe. But it says Six Flags America and the Hurricane Harbor are closing for good. Six Flags Entertainment Corporation, which defines itself as the largest amusement park operator in North America, made the announcement in press release. What was this? Was this yesterday? You know, May 1st. Six Flags America and the Hurricane Harbor are located in Bowie. Okay, it's talking about, so I'm guessing it's talking about a specific one, you know, but sooner or later, all these different companies are going to go down anyway, because there's not going to be anyone going to these amusement parks, man, because there's no money, like what's happening to this, what is it, in Maryland? All right, this is happening in Maryland, but this is gonna, you know, the rest of these different franchises are gonna follow suit, you know, no matter where they are, because there's not gonna be any more work in Egypt, man. All right, like even, you know, hopping on something that Trump said yesterday. Trump says children could have $2 instead of 30 with this tariff, which, you know, he's telling America to be more disciplined in a time of terror that he brought on them. But at the same time, America made these soft people, man. All right. But here it is that, you know, you have an unwise president that's just, you know, being stout and starting wars with different countries over tariffs. And he's telling you tough luck. All right. Grin and bear it. You know, I'm the only one who can get you out of this situation. All right. The Tekken of Edom, man. The Tekken of Edom, man. All right, the king of Babylon. President Trump on Wednesday said that children could have fewer dolls while his administration puts high tariffs on trading partners. Because eventually, yeah, it's going to create tension within these different countries. But ultimately, nothing is going to emerge out of that until the economy fails, until the digital system is brought forth. So you're just going to have them doing these little personal attacks, man. And, you know, little by little, this place is going to fail until it comes into the fullness of this place being completely without law and without sovereignty. It says acknowledging that there may be shortages of goods because of his plan, which does just, you know, crime has been increasing because of that. All right. You know, it's been different events that are, you know, of course, wag the dog, but as well as, you know, people are actually just wilding out and trying to, it's pretty much the citizens have gone insane, and they're starting to realize that their leaders are breaking the law too, so they feel like they can break the law. It says they're having tremendous difficulty because their factories are not doing businesses. They made $1 trillion with former President Biden selling us stuff. Much of it we don't need, Trump said, referring to China, on which he has imposed an overall 145% tariff, which I think China folded on their tariff against America, if not a day ago, sometime this week. But like I said, eventually it's going to go left for America, which is going to go left for all these other different countries, but it's going to completely break ties because of, China is still basically an ally of America, so to speak. you know, loosely spoken. You know, they're not complete enemies because they have business together. All right, but right now they're fighting. You know, it's a tug of war over who is really the head here and who should, you know, bow down to the other. But China just said that they're not bowing down. All right, but like I said, eventually, you know, it's gonna come to a point to where this money is gonna fail. Actually, this is Genesis 47:12. It says, "And Joseph nourished his father and his brethren and all his father's household with bread according to their families. And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine." Which that's what we're about to come into, man. We're coming into an actual famine of goods. You know, right now he's mentioning things, certain goods that, like you know, toys or whatnot. But then you also got a different features for devices that are needed, all right, or products that help boost agriculture, that, or just, you know, crops and food themselves that actually literally come from other countries, you know, because everything from America is, that's sold in America. Salaki, everything that's sold in America has been imported here because America is not an export country. You know, these different nations, they make money off of America. You know, that's the reason why they own pieces of America, you know, as forms of debt. America is basically the rich junkie of the world, so to speak, when it comes down to the economy wise, man. And all these different nations do business with this place, even though they don't really like the morale or the code of this place and how they do business. They still stand to make a piece of the product, but now it's failing, man. You know, not to mention that even in these other countries that don't have much of anything either, they're just starting to become, they're starting to look a lot better than how America would do its deals and raise its citizens. But these other nations, they're not going to be the superpower of the world either, man. All right. But this is verse 13. It says, "And there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine." And this happened in the past, but it's going to happen again. "And Joseph gathered up all the money that was found in the land of Egypt and the land of Canaan for the corn which they brought. And Joseph brought the money unto Pharaoh's house. And when the money failed in the land of Egypt,